This afternoon we're delighted to have Meridith Barone from GE with us. GE won the Learning 100 award today for its H.R.M training programs and in the category of culture. Welcome, Meridith.
Thank you.
Could you tell me a little bit about the human resources training?
Yeah, at GE we have a number of different training programs that we offer. So we focus on skills training in the area of mergers and acquisitions, coaching, leadership assessment, kind of the core skills training, staffing that an HR manager would need anywhere in the world to support a GE business.
That's all pretty high-level stuff.
High level, but also there's a lot of nuts and bolts training as well.
Okay.
And HR orientation process. And then we have another form that we use, which has really grown over the last couple of years, which we call our HR development forum. And instead of focusing on that technical training, it's more of a 2-day forum. We run 10 per year all around the world, touching about 1,000 HR managers. And it's an opportunity for external speakers to come in, for people to have time to kind of reflect on their practices, learn something new, collaborate with each other, attach to it as HR skills training. So kind of a combination of collaboration and core skills training is how we approach it.
What's Crotonville?
Crotonville is our corporate leadership center. It's Crotonville really in GE is a brand, and so we have Crotonville facilities in a couple locations throughout the world, and that's where we bring the top GE talents, top performers, high potential talents at all levels of the organization across all functions together to exchange ideas, focus on content learning, and really build that connection and network across businesses to help solve problems really when they're in Crotonville.
So a lot of that is face-to-face. Most of it's face-to-face then? Most
of it is face-to-face in Crotonville because we really believe that a lot of it is the experience that people get when they're together. So for example, in emerging markets, a lot of times people don't have the opportunity to build that network as easy as some of the other markets that are more mature. So we bring them together across all the different GE businesses, have some standard curriculum that we target to each level, and give them an opportunity to build that network and really exchange ideas to help GE grow.
Well, how many people go through the leadership training? Is it like tens or hundreds or thousands?
Oh, it's thousands. It's
thousands.
Definitely thousands.
Okay.
So the number I think has been quoted numerous times, which is that GE spends $1 billion a year on training and development for employees.
Wow.
So it's a huge number of people that go through Crotonville. But Crotonville is one piece of the puzzle in GE. There's tons of other training opportunities. So there's kind of core skills training. We have business training. Every function has their training. So finance, marketing, HR all have targeted training for that particular curriculum. And Crotonville is kind of the elite leadership training where you really have the opportunity to exchange ideas with other business leaders across GE.
What kind of feedback are you getting from your upper management with the Crotonville program?
You know, the exciting thing about Crotonville isn't just trainers standing up. Crotonville is led by leaders in GE. So there are true leaders that come in and teach different pieces of the curriculum. We have external thought leaders that come in, but we have business leaders that come through. In fact, last year a new program was launched called the Leader in Residence, and what would happen is our most senior officers in GE would come in, and for a week they would spend the week in Crotonville, and they would go into each of the different training programs, have a dialogue, talk about their business. They would do a leadership blog, kind of share their insights, and so it is very much led by GE people. GE leaders as well as kind of the external and the trainers.
With that many managers, or that high percentage of managers within GE involved in learning programs, does that make your job easier? If you as you get down into the lower levels of employee training, the line training, does that make your job easier to have those managers know about learning and be that involved in it?
I think so. I mean, I've been with GE for 15 years now, and I don't have a lot of experience outside of that, just some small HR experience for smaller banks, and I really believe that growing up in the GE family and such a strong culture for learning and development, the support is there. I mean, managers want to send employees to Crotonville. They want their employees to participate in the business training, the functional skills training. There's a big demand for it, and so it's a nice culture to operate in.
What's on the horizon? You got any interesting, super good plans?
I think some things that are on the horizon are basically an evolution of some of the great work that started about 12 to 18 months ago. In one of the panels earlier, I talked about reimagining Crotonville, and so even with some of the great industry recognition that we've been lucky enough to receive, the leaders across Crotonville thought we have a lot of work that we can do. We still need to improve. We have skills we're not touching, so we have done a complete refresh and overhaul of Crotonville, starting from content, is all of the content integrated across all programs, to the experience, how do participants feel when they come through Crotonville? Are they having time built in to reflect and really think about their leadership style and make some changes? And then also just the physical location of Crotonville, making changes instead of just using the buildings and the space, opening up to the numerous acres that we have outside of that to make it more tied to health, connecting in different areas and outside of the physical buildings.
This is something that may be a little bit off the track, but I'm sort of curious about it. GE is such a big organization. Do you have a learning team that works on formulating, where do we go from here, and how big's that team, and are they dispersed, are they in one place? How do you decide?
Yeah, we have a great learning team. So the way that we're organized, it's a highly matrixed environment in GE. So you have your business team. So if you're with GE Healthcare, you'd be on your business team. If you're a learning professional, you'd be a part of usually the HR team. But then you're connected into the overall learning team that the Chief Learning Officer leads. And what she does is bring people together to set the agenda, prioritize, what's on the horizon, what are you seeing in healthcare compared to aviation, compared to another business, GE Capital, and then really that team together kind of sets the agenda and prioritizes and picks to work on the things that are enterprise-wide GE, and then also, of course, focusing on the functions and the businesses as well.
Do you get into succession planning at all?
My previous role, was heavily involved in succession planning.
So there is a branch of the learning tree involved in succession planning.
Yeah, definitely. I would say they're definitely integrated, but there's a very strong succession management process in GE. We have a strong process that's been in place for years called Session C, which is our people management process, and every manager, professional employee and above is discussed through the Session C process in terms of strengths, development needs, next roles, what experiences do they need, what training do they need, and it goes through the whole organization. Bottoms-up approach, all the roles all the way up to the CEO around the April timeframe, and you see changes come out of that along the way, and that's a key process that we use to nominate people for the Crotonville types of experiences, especially the executive level experiences at Crotonville.
Sounds like an exciting place to work.
It is. It's a great place to work. I love it.
Well, Meridith Barone, thank you very much. Congratulations to you and GE for winning a Learning 100 award.
Thank you.
Best.
Appreciate it.